undertake. And what comes to mind immediately is the institutionalization of the performance management program, so that even as we do performance management, we hold people accountable for what they have undertaken or contracted to deliver within specified periods. And also, in my view, I would want to prioritize a reward mechanism, reward scheme, not necessarily monetary. And I've seen this, Madam Chair, in the judiciary. Almost every quarter, you find who is the best performing judge in terms of how many cases they are able to clear because of the huge backlog that were found in the judiciary. How is it that we cannot do the same in the rest of the public service? Let us reward and recognize performance so that even promotion, even the areas we are talking about the succession planning, it also has some basis. You see people who exert themselves, apply themselves so diligently. I think it's only fair that there must be a way of recognizing that kind of performance, so that improves delivery of service to the Kenyan people. The other one that has been,
if you allow me, Speaker, just to speak into the issue of performance management. I'm a big supporter of performance management because I know what it can do. And during the Kibaki time, you could actually, I used to work in a university as a registrar, and we put, during that time, universities were assigned into performance management. And you could actually see the university grow, how many papers it has published, how many papers each professor has published, A&A, how it has been ranked in. You could actually see the growth because of performance management as you take up this position, if approved by this committee, and this is part of public service. We'll be very happy if we initiated performance management through performance contract or any other form of performance management tool to actually be able to evaluate workers, their output, how much government is putting in and what is the output, so that we can see real growth, and this contributes significantly to GDP. Thank you.
Did you finish answering?
Just that area of performance management, and I'm happy that the honourable member for Kilifi North has actually just got it, nailed it, because of course the public universities are they're still part of the public service, and we've had some in recent times. We've had of complaints from students complaining that they start examinations and they have not received their results. You wonder, in that university, there's a lecturer who is involved in delaying those results. There is a head of department, there is a dean, and there is a vice chancellor. Surely, when these kind of complaints come, if we were implementing, if we are properly institutionalized, and I agree with the honourable member that this is something that is the route to go, but we are paying lip service to it. We are not actualizing what it's supposed to mean, because it is also service delivery. Those students are part of they are children of this country. When you hear students complaining that they start examinations and for 6 months down the road they have not gotten their results, and what, surely those students must have gone to raise those complaints with the lecturers, with the heads of departments, with the deans. I mean, surely it means something somewhere. There is a breakdown in the way we implement these performance contracts. Management and the delivery is not correct. Another area, again, to respond is how we communicate government programs. There has been all manner of communication from all quarters. Sometimes you see some of the communication, if you happen to be awake by midnight, you find there's still communication through some certain medium. And, it's just, we just need to institutionalize it and make it work properly. This is another area of priority, Mr. Chairman, that I would think we need to implement alongside the reward, merit-based reward system, either on a quarterly basis or on a monthly basis, as the case may be. We must recognize industry and merit in the delivery of public services. I think that may be all.
I'm told you've done all that cohort. Sharia, anything?
Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I have a question from a constituent. Thank you. Mheshimiwa Justin B. Muturi, the question goes, despite the clear guidelines outlined in the scheme of service, there has been a noticeable trend of officers remaining in the same job group for extended periods. This stagnation not only demotivates employees, but also hampers overall efficiency and progression within the public service. How do you plan to address and rectify this issue to ensure compliance with the scheme of service and promote a more dynamic and motivated workforce? Thank you.
Chairman, I have one simple question. I did one. I have one. Just one which is pressing. It is on the abolition of permanent and pensionable terms in the public service. Do you support or not? What are the advantages and disadvantages?
What? Terms.
Thank you, Speaker. Mine really is not a question. I just want to comment. Speaker Emeritus, I think you are lucky that you have worked in government, the judiciary, in legislature, now in the executive. You have a good feel of what a government is, what the people are. I think what Honorable Kosin there said, the idea of regional balance, the idea of ethnic groups included in civil service, the idea of merit, I just want to emphasize that. I think as you go around, it is important to look at not just the entry level, even at the middle and the top. You look at the speaker, the deputy speaker, and the clerk. That is the sort of Kenya we want to see. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, small one, Speaker.
Because you are mentioned, it becomes a point of order.
Under your guidance, Speaker.
Okay.
Under your guidance, and thank you for indulgence. You know, and I want to encourage the nominee, Honorable Speaker, that they should start from, in his audit which he mentioned.
If confirmed.
If confirmed.
Yes.
He should start from National Treasury. Because National Treasury is where the national cake is divided. And if they skewed things there, then the national cake is skewed. Thank you, Chairman.
Chairman, I had not asked a question.
Those who have not asked questions.
I hadn't asked. That time it was a supplementary, but because I was going to get an opportunity, I just want to add a rider to, because that is what I was going to say on what Honorable Russell has said. To the nominee, if you get an opportunity, please. Kenyans want to feel to be part of Kenya. And the only way is through inclusivity, fairness, and what is just. And it is enshrined in our Constitution. And you have said you will follow the Constitution. Kenyans do not want to see an advert of a senior position which is being filled, and they almost know it is for who, it is even tailor-made for who, and for which community. If a certain person exits public service and he or she is from a certain community, it is almost certain they have to be replaced by someone from the same community. Let us have fairness and encourage merit. That is all I wanted to say.
A good comment. Mule, you pass?
Just a comment, and to the nominee, Mr. Speaker Muturi, do you think we as a government, we have a mechanism to monitor the efficiency, apart from the performance contracting of civil servant, to monitor efficiency and to increase transparency in government departments using electronic systems.
Good. Nominee take Naisula's comment positively, so it's not a question, so was Russell's. Sir George?
Let me just ask this on behalf of a member of the public so that I'm not accused of not having done it. Kenyan youth under the PSC internship program under cohort 6. Kindly, with regards to budgeting, do ask the nominee for PSC, citing an example in State Department of TVETs that they are hiring 1,300 trainers under PNP terms, yet they have not included not even the currently active interns in all the TVETs countrywide, from Mombasa to Turkana, who are only 126 of them, vetted, trained, qualified, which begs the question, to whom do these vacancies and jobs belong? Even the already qualified interns currently working in those TVETs do not qualify to be considered etc. That's a kind of sentiments we are getting from this, because no wonder they are saying the nasty things they're saying about occupying us.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Justin Muturi, in February I passed my bill, which is waiting. It has already been debated. It is the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill 2022. It's passed through the National Assembly, passed through the Senate with some amendments, and we are going to look at, the committee will look at it. What it's mentioning, what Honorable Naisula has talked about, fairness in county, which county do you come from, and residents and all that. And when I did that, many universities, not just county assemblies, what Honorable Posing is talking, many universities, 70% of the staff are from the communities where it is based. But that is just for information for you. For county assemblies and county government workers, we've got, for the national government, public service has got 17 job groups. But for the county governments, there are 21 job groups. So there is, it's not at par. So would you consider to abolish, I don't know if it is possible, to abolish the county public service boards and have it, or upgrade them to what is at the national level? Because the salary increments are not there.
Under what law do you do that?
That's why I said if it is
you
in the law.
can actually do it by amending the County Governments Act. You,
okay,
not him.
That one I will get.
Yes.
The other thing, would you check if because they don't have a service scheme for the county government workers? Is it possible, or that one even has to be done through Parliament? I don't know.
So, nominee.
Mr. Chairman, if I was to respond to the last one by the Honorable Dawood, again, it's a function. That particular area with the counties is a function given to the Public Service Commission under Article 234, one of their functions. They're supposed to come up with standards, operating standards, which and you know, if we put them in law, national legislation will take precedence over what else they have down at the counties. So it's quite. I'm happy that you've actually processed your bill and you're putting those principles. Mr. Chairman, I was going to agree with the Honorable Dawood about these many job groups at the counties, because sometimes I came across an officer some old man who was employed in my county, and he was said to be an environment officer. And to the best of my knowledge, when they mentioned environment, I was a bit surprised because I didn't think he would be very well suited in that regard. But then later it was explained to me that he was engaged by the governor to advise on the political environment. So, so there are many job groups, and so it's one of those things. I think working in collaboration with the Public Service Commission, I think because we have a duty, we serve the same people. We have a duty also to advise the counties that certain things just don't make sense. And the resources that are devolved every year are not just for purposes of recurrent expenditure. And I like the current trend that both Parliament and the national government have taken, that please dedicate not less than 30% of those resources to address issues of development. I think it's a good thing. The chairman, going to the question raised by the member for Balambala, the Honorable Kuria, about the stagnation of people in one job group. It is one of those things that must be seen as, one can say that maybe somebody has slept on the job, because why are you stagnating somebody? And this is the reason why I'm saying there's need for us to introduce some monthly or quarterly reward system. And if we do that, something like that, we will see who it is that is stagnating. But I think the Public Service Commission, unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, have to, if you confirm me and the House approves, I would have to work with the Public Service Commission, and I have no problem about that, because I believe that what we will be proposing are ideas that would help in the service delivery to the people of Kenya. It is not a Muturi or Honorable Ishongwa's idea. It is for the benefit of the people of Kenya, so that when good ideas must give way to better ones, and better ones must give way to the best. So the schemes of service, I want to confirm, do exist still, but I think they are being implemented in very skewed ways, or they are not even being implemented in some cases, and therefore you find people stagnating in one place. And I think it is very, very demotivating, very demoralizing. You may find that some of the people stagnating are extremely hardworking, industrious people, but maybe because of some certain idiosyncrasies between the supervisors and others in the chain of command, they have been made to stagnate. I think these are some of the things that we need to begin addressing. If I find favor with you, Mr. Chairman, and the committee and the House, these are things that I promise I would want to undertake to visit. Mr. Chairman, through you, the Honorable Member for Likoni did raise the issue of permanent and pensionable vis-a-vis contractual terms or engagement. Mr. Chairman, the public service in any jurisdiction, as I know, is indeed really the soul of the nation. And I think I say this because you look at certain jurisdictions, Italy stays for sometimes up to 6 months without a government. But because the civil service is in place, well structured, these things we are talking about, people stagnating, people being favored because they come from this region or the other, those things are not there. That's why the civil service in a country like Italy, indeed, Mr. Chairman, even Britain, sometimes they change prime ministers 1 month, 2 months.
Time they changed 3 in 6 months.
Yes, but those countries are held together. Delivery of service is done because there is an efficient and effective mechanism by the public service of those countries. Same can be said about countries like Israel. Therefore, there is merit also in the question in having people on permanent and pensionable basis, while at the same time, there exists merit at certain levels. I mean, Mr. Chairman, I would find it, very punishing to engage a tea girl on contract terms, because, or sweepers. You'll be changing them so many times. I think some of them, or clerical officers, but at certain levels, senior levels, there is merit also in having people on contract terms. In any event, members of parliament are at a very high level in society, and they are on contract. They are on 5-year contracts. So why should it not be that at certain levels, we also engage some of those people on contracts? I mean, for me, I think we can have a fused system where we appreciate that at certain level, P&P has its own place. And then at certain other levels, contractual engagement of public servants would have some benefits. That would be my reaction to that issue. Thank you, Honorable Russell, Honorable Kosing, through you, Mr. Chairman. These were comments to encourage, and I take it in my strength. I think, it has been said that we must begin by addressing the National Treasury. And I think the honorable member has a point, Mr. Chairman, because we have read stories about what is called budgeted corruption. By the time documents are delivered to the House, so much has been done, so much has been planned for. Sometimes when you try to read through those documents, and we are told maintenance of plant and equipment maintenance, you ask which equipments are these, Sometimes you don't know which is which. And the same would go to how we recruit people also. Mr. Chairman, I want to give this committee some real example where 11 drivers were recruited and posted to the state law office. Only 4 of them had an idea how to to drive, and they were on salary. So I said, what, did you make a mistake? I thought this could only do sweeping or some other menial jobs in the office, but no, they are employed as drivers. Mr. Chairman, I have some examples which make me feel very passionate about actually, if the House approves me, want to go to this docket, because there are too many things, too many glaring things that need to be addressed. Well, the honorable member for Matungulu did raise the issue of the monitoring mechanism available in the implementation of various programs in the public service, particularly even performance management. This is one area that requires very close attention, because as I said earlier, Mr. Chairman, because Public Service Commission, in excess of the powers given to it in 234 clause 5 to delegate. Once they delegate, and Public Service Commission is only one small commission here in Nairobi. It is not in Turkana, it is not in Embu, it's not in Bungoma, it's not in Narok. It's just here in Nairobi. So once they have delegated, I think the follow-up mechanism on what happens to those people whom they delegate their functions has been lacking. And I think, Mr. Chairman, if, as you said, I find favor with yourselves, I would still want to work with Parliament. If I find favor, I would still want to work with Parliament, because I think it is in Parliament where things can move. Some of these things which have failed in the public service, if we work collaboratively,